Somewhere beneath the ocean. That's where I wanna be. Where she will be, whatever the fuck. It would help if I remember the fucking lyrics. Alright, so I'm gonna restart the stream. Hopefully I did this correctly. We should now be live. And for those of you that are gonna check in, okay, there we go. We're back live again. Hopefully this didn't overwrite my previous stream, and I'm gonna double check that it didn't. Because it's why I don't prefer this method with OBS. Is because if you aren't careful, it'll just overwrite your previous stream. Nope, we're good. It looks good. Okay. Scared me for a second. I preferred the Hangout method, but they got rid of it. They got rid of Hangouts. So this is what I'm left with. I have to just create a backdrop for you. And it's going to be this. So this is just going to be a lazy Hangout stream. I don't really have anything planned outside of talking about maybe Catherine, which just came out on the 3rd. And I'm not really sure if I'm going to buy it or not. Actually, is it even on PC? Yes, it is, I think. Let me see. Catherine full body. Let's take a look what formats it's on. Is it on PC? No, I think it's just PlayStation. Yeah, it is just PlayStation. It's exclusive to PlayStation. Okay, so I guess my only choice is PS4. But, yeah, it's just a question of whether I'm going to buy it or not because of the one joke that's censored in it. So, yeah, this is going to be a laid-back stream. I'll tweet this out real quick, just in case anyone logged off, even though I said I was going to come back. So if you have anything you want to talk to me about, we can talk about it here, because I haven't streamed in a while. Let me get the chat up real quick, get it in pop out. So I can see it better. Ooh, I don't want that. There we go. Well, work's going okay right now, but it's gonna be at a point where eventually I'll need to quit. Not much. I just got back from Philadelphia. I did go to mines in real life. I was there. I was tweeting about it. I got into the VIP area up until Tim Pool ratted me out, and the event host kicked me out. It got the video earlier got copyright claims, so the video earlier got copyrighted claims, so I had to edit it, and it's gonna be out tomorrow at 11. Talk about Ilhan Omar and her cheating ass. Well, I'm trying to think of, like, what husband she didn't cheat on. She's getting divorced. The latest is that she's hooked up with some white guy who he was married and having an affair with her, and she was having an affair with him. And so I guess now he's getting divorced and she's getting divorced. Somebody at the convention at one of the Q&As asked him to remove his beanie to prove he has hair, and he refused, and everyone laughed. No, I didn't hang out with Tim Pool at the bar. I hung out with Sargon, Dr. Random McCam, and a few people I ran into, including not the main host, but actually, well, the main host who kicked me out earlier from the VIP area, and this other guy who was one of the hosts. Is that White by chance named Carl Benjamin? Who do you mean by White? Tim Pool doesn't know who I am. Tim Pool was running around most of the event. He was just constantly moving. Other than when he was on stage. That was the only time he sat still. Outside of that, he was constantly moving around. No, I did not go dressed up like an old-timey French aristocrat, no. I was dressed up, though. I was wearing a more business casual suit. We'll see if the numbers can actually get past what we were when we were doing the game. I think we topped out at like 170 or 180. By the end, we had lost like a bunch of people. Yeah, there was some random guy that showed up at his house twice. Somebody talked to him. I think it might have been Jeremy. I'm not sure. Somebody talked to the guy. I'd have to look and see if I can find it. Let me check my feed really quick on YouTube. I think Jeremy talked to him. Let me see. I know Jeremy's been uploading a lot, so let's see if I can catch up to where he was. Maybe not. I could have swore he uploaded a video talking about it. I guess not. I guess I'm imagining things. I thought he did. Unless he took it down. After El Paso and Odessa, my state neighboring Texas seems to want more Second Amendment restriction despite rampant DWIs. So the fuck, second AEA for DWIs. Thoughts? I don't really have any thoughts. Brick Shakes and Berettas is still one of my favorite video names of all time, Louis. Well, I'm glad you thought it was ingenious. I thought so. I try to make my titles as amusing as I can come up with at the time. Laugh at the Brits and them delaying Brexit again. I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can actually delay Brexit. The I Was Right stream. That was an old one. That's still up, and it has no avatar, not avatar, thumbnail. It has no thumbnail. That's still up. I have to put some of those videos to my secondary channel at some point. Culture of Gomorrah, yeah. I try to come up with some clever titles. Not everyone appreciates that. Bazinski says, I want to catch Louis' stream full on, but the scheduler keeps getting it wrong at his job. At least for today, we're good. We're okay right now, anyways. That actually, the MAGA hat, the wear red hat to bag the MAGA japs, that was somebody else. That actually isn't mine. That was somebody else that came up with that one. I just took it from him. But I guess we'll get a poll going. Let me get a straw poll up. Let's see here. Should I buy Catherine full body? Yes. No. It's up to you. Don't care. Unsure. All right. Allow comments. Let's get a sample. So I'll before I post this straw poll, I'll reiterate that the only things changed in the game. I don't even know how you stream on PlayStation 4. I don't even know how you do it. So, sure, but I don't know how you do it. Somebody email me. How do you stream on a PlayStation? In any case, the only things changed in the game, and let me see, I might have saved this on Twitter. Let me bring that up. I did. Okay, let me get that up here. So the only thing changed, according to Senkaku Complex, Senkaku Complex, are 2 lines in the game. And actually, I think, unless this has been updated again. Okay, so the only thing as far as right now that have been changed is this line, which is she just threatens him with collecting his tab in the Western version. And in the original Western, which is the first game, he says, I'd be more convinced if a woman was telling me this. That was his actual response. They cut that line from the new version. And you can tell, like, there's nothing here. In the new version, you have Rin in the background playing the piano. That, and instead of being referred to as Eric, or whatever him/her's name is, Erica is referred to is cited as Erica. Oh, shit, is that fucking Catherine right there? What's with the gray? There we go. I think that's Catherine right there. In the wedding dress. That's awesome, if it is. Thumbs up if that's Catherine in the background in a wedding dress. Because it's actually one of my criticisms of the game is I understand, like, the entire basis of the 2 characters. Like, I don't know if I really need to get into it. Like, explaining the entire basis of the fucking game and the difference between the 2 characters. But it wouldn't really make sense for Catherine with a C to actually marry you in that fashion, outside if you turn her trad thought, or whatever you'd want to refer to it as, however you would coax her into becoming that. Anyways, that doesn't matter. It doesn't really make sense for her character to marry you in that sense, but it would be nice. I would very much like that to be the ending of the game, where... Whoa, is that Erica? I think that is. I think this is the version of the game where you convince Erica to become a guy again. And your buddy there is just a fag. Not that there's anything wrong with that, as Jerry Seinfeld would say. But in any case, the only thing they change in the game is in the credits, it's Erica instead of Eric, which I guess is fine, because honestly, the character that we understand in the game's name is Erica. So to cite the character's name as Erica in the credits honestly makes sense to me, because otherwise you wouldn't know who they were, because they don't give the last names as far as I'm aware. It's just Erica Even with Vincent, I don't even know if Vincent has a surname. It's just Vincent. But there's only one line, and it's this right here that I just talked about. That's the only line that's missing. So, with that pointed out, I will take this straw poll here. Actually, here's the link. Let me grab that link here. Hey. Fuck. Okay, there we go. And I will post it in the chat. Do I think that monarchs is in dictatorships are basically the same thing? No. Monarchs are usually different structurally, historically, and usually, well, I don't consider them the same thing. That's the short answer. So let me know if you can click that link in the chat. It should work. But I'll tweet it out. Say, vote on Gettr. Chehtherine. Okay, just making sure I'm not making myself look like a fucking idiot. The Asian, I don't know the answer to that question. Yeah, I'm not claiming they're the same, Niccolo. They're, like, just a short explanation for monarchs. Monarchs usually come about from ancient history. There's not really too many new monarchies. Most of them are very, very old, and they're derived through some form of conquest that isn't necessarily like Dongzong in fucking China in that sort of manner. They're not really tyrannical. It's usually unifying that you have a monarch. People usually not really elect a monarch, but swear themselves to a monarch. So there is some consent to their authority. And it usually is tied into the church and other institutions. So the monarchy, at least my understanding of at least the English version, is that its authority exists, but it's not really independent from the existence of other institutions that compose of the state, if that makes any sense. And you can feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in that thinking. But I don't really see monarchs as simply dictators. They have more autocratic power, at least in some sense, I guess. But they're more of an institution than they are one man, so to say, if that makes sense. But anyways, let's take a look to see if anybody has voted. Well, so far, we got a majority don't care. But I will give it a little bit. It is dev virtue signaling. It's localizers virtue signaling. That's why it's a controversy. The alphabet community made a big deal about the previous game because of Erica. And in all honesty, I mean, I believe that this is a matter of these people don't actually care. They just want power over Atlas. And the only way in which they can derive that power is by attacking the localizers. The actress claimed that changes were made in the game, and it appears that she lied or was just wrong. She claimed that there was more things done to this game, and that appears to be untrue. I have been sent this as the only evidence of what has actually been changed. And the name change in the credits, to me, is fine, because it's a matter of accuracy. We know the character's name to be Eric, rather than Eric. So To change the name to Erica, to me, is fine, because that's the name we know her by. As far as I'm aware, in the first game, that's the only name she was called. In the second game, I haven't even been informed if she's referred to anything but Erica. So to change the name in the credits section to Erica, to me, is totally fine, because, like I say, it's accurate. That is her name. But other than that change, the only line that has actually been changed is in the original version, which is shown here. She says something to him about dating. And Vincent says, and I actually think I recall this scene. Vincent retorts to her, "I'd be more convinced if a woman was telling me this." That's the only line that has been removed from the game. In the new version, he says something to her, and then she cuts automatically to, and it doesn't actually make a lot of sense. Let me see if I can play this without blowing out my eardrums.
Boys really need to learn how a girl's heart works. A girl is always hoping someone will come and sweep them away.
Oh, come on.
So in this, that's what her line is. And that's when he says, "I'd be more convinced if a woman was telling me this." And then she responds,
Sounds like somebody wants to pay their tab right now.
That's the original, is he says this, she responds with, "Oh, somebody should be paying his tab now." Instead, he says, "Oh, come on." So that is actually the change that's been made, as far as we can tell. This is the only information that's been put forward, and there was a leftist blog that cited for this in terms of what's been changed, and that's the only thing they could find. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't play the game with the dub on either, but I don't know, for anyone that has anyone bought this? Does anyone know if you're given the option to turn the dub off? Does anyone know? Because in Persona 5, you can turn off the dub. You can turn it to just Japanese with subtitles, and it's not as easy because sometimes there's ambient Japanese and you don't know what's being said. But to me, that's fine. The original did not have dual audio. I know that as well. They're Cairo. Or Dino is better. So, unfortunately, I haven't really interacted with anyone who's bought this. I don't know anyone who's bought this new version. And unfortunately, it's just like, I would be, as I've said in the past, I'd be the first person out there advertising you guys buy this game. But unfortunately, it's just a matter of, well, they have censored a single line from the game. As far as we can tell, it's limited to one line. And this is the line. This is the line they censored from the game. And it wasn't Atlas. It was their fucking localizer. Alright, so we're still on a low vote amount. Let me see if I can put the link to this in... the dashboard, if I can do that here. I think I can, actually. Hold on. Okay. Let's see if that updates with, okay, it should be in the dash now, so you should be able to see it in the description if you're looking for it. Yeah, I know, Abaddon. One line now, more lines later. I agree. I agree with that sentiment, Abaddon. I don't disagree. It's why I haven't bought it. It's why I'm putting it up to you. Because I need... It's not as though that I'm looking for your permission to buy a game. I can just buy the game. But it is a matter of... I'm not sure... I'm honestly not sure how to feel about it. I'm legitimately... it's not the end of the world if I don't buy it, honestly, because it's a game I've already played before, realistically. But at the same time, it's like a matter of it is still to this day my favorite Atlas game, and I want to support the company for doing what they did. They didn't have to do this. They went out of their way to do this. But it's still a matter of they did censor, as of right now, one line from the game. So at least the localization team is pandering to SJWs. So I will leave it to you guys with this poll to see what you think about the matter itself. And there's at least a contingent of you that say, no, I should not buy it, even if it is the minority at this moment in time. That is possible. It could only be in the dub. So Walter the Einstein frog, rather, Epstein frog. So Walter Epstein asked the question, or raises the question, rather, that it could be only in the dub. When am I going to stream with Academic Agent? When somebody ever asked me to stream with them. I've reached out to numerous people in the past. They agree to it. Nothing comes of it. How can you pirate something on fucking PlayStation? Can I get it without localization with English translation? As far as I'm aware, no. I'll look on PlayAsia, but PlayAsia is the only source that I'm aware of where you can get something that's from Asia that has English subtitles. And I'll have a look right now to see if it's available. Let's take a look. Okay. Vita. Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe. There's this right here. Why is it cheap? Why is it $51? Huh. It's actually cheaper than the American. That's weird. But yeah, anyways, here's the Asian version, which is not censored. And it's the PlayStation 4 version. It has English in brackets here, which usually means there's English subtitles. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it has English. You know what? I could just do the. I mean, I could risk. I don't know what the return policy. What's the return policy? Digital. Oh, well, they don't accept open ones. Well, I guess I could take a chance. But yeah, whoops. This one might be fine because it has English voice and subtitle, but it's the Asian version. It's currently not in stock with them though. It says regional account required for online features, but I don't plan on playing it online. I don't know how to play. You gotta make... No, I don't need to download it. This is just the game. This is a hard copy of the game. It's not a download. It's not downloadable. It's just the game itself. And besides, a Japanese PSN account is going to be in fucking kanji or whatever. And I don't know how to stream in a PlayStation 4. One of you fuckers are going to have to email me. Because I don't know how to stream in a PlayStation 4. You need like an emulator or something? I don't even know. Or like maybe a Twitch account or something. So yeah, I could buy this. It's not currently in stock. And see how it fares. And you wouldn't support the localization team with this shit. It would go straight to Atlas. Or Sega. I don't know why it says Sega. Sega own Atlas? The fuck is going on here? I am confused. Alright, well, I guess I'll have to look into this and see if this'll work, because it says, let me check the others really quick to see if that stock is actually in yet. Okay, I don't want the Japanese. Let's get rid of that, please. No, that's the old version. Chinese subs, no, I don't want Chinese subs. Okay, here's a premium one. Oh, here's a premium for Asia. Let me see that one. Oh, it's for Chinese subs. Fuck. This is a Euro one. Looks like that one's not in yet. Where the fuck's the one for... Nope. Nope, that one's not in yet. Fuck. I was looking for the limited edition one with English subs. It looks like there isn't one. Oh wow, they're sold out of that one. Okay, maybe I can't get it. Oh nope, they got full body in on PlayStation 4 for US. That one's in stock. Sega does own Atlas? Okay. Yeah, so as of right now, we got this. And it says, box art is not final, which who gives a shit, and English voice and subtitle. I'm gonna Google that really quick. Catherine, full body, Japanese voice. Catherine full body will have a Japanese voice available in its Western version. Let's see here. Oh, here you go. Let's see here. Okay, so according to this, the EU version, the European version, will have multiple voices in it. Yeah, so at least this edition will have the Japanese voice acting in it. Okay. I guess I'm going to have to start saving these fucking links for the description. Okay, so according to that anyways, it's going to have the you know, I'm just reading something real quick. Yeah, okay. Actually, I don't know. It just says the, in this one, it just says English voice and subtitle. I mean, that's good, but I prefer English subtitle in Japanese. Well, they will either way. It's what the affiliate link is for. They've already approved my account, and they'd have to retract it. So, if you click my link, which I don't believe is in the description of this, but is usually in the description of every video. I didn't edit that John Doe. It's actually right here. Where is it? Right here on my desktop. I haven't finished editing that, but it's still here. And the thumbnail for this video is this right here, which, if you don't know, is Dan and Sam Hauser of Rockstar fame with impotent rage over their faces. And I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm not going to explain that. I'm just going to let that sit and have you think about it. Well, actually, what was I going to say about Rockstar? It's one of the things I left out of talking about with the video that's going to be out tomorrow. Let me get to this real quick to check out everything real quick. Okay. But yeah, let me look that up real quick. Rockstar, no, not GTA 5. Rockstar Red Dead 2. Let's see. Here we go. Let me get from a source that isn't fucking shit. Here we go, Washington Examiner. I don't know why we're looking at this. But, here, let's just go to this. Fuck this article. So, the reason I bring up this update to Red Dead Redemption 2 is because if you want people to be interested in your game, you actually have to release features. You actually have to show them what is in the game. You have to detail what it is that you have, what you're planning to do, what you're planning to implement, and then you actually implement it. And one of the things I can't stand about Red Dead 2, or excuse me, Cyberpunk 2077, is that they haven't actually detailed what is just going to be in the game. There's very few things, if you really listen, there's very few things that they've detailed are just going to be in the game. And when they detail what's going to be in the game, they just do this. They show you pictures. Here's the achievements. It's going to be in the game. Here's one of the weapons that you're going to have. Here's one of the wagons that you can get. Here's one of the things you can do. Here's all the things in detail that we're implementing for one thing, for the bounty hunter. For the trader, here's all the things we're going to be putting in the game. Here's some screenshots of exactly what we're talking about. We're going to detail exactly what you're going to do. Here's what it costs. If you want this in the game, you're going to have to pay this much, or you can do this. This is what you're going to be doing. Here's all the things you get for this class. They just detail exactly what they're doing, exactly what they're planning, exactly what's going to be in the fucking game. This is not difficult. This is the standard thing that you do. And what I can't stand, and what I go into in the video that's going to be coming out tomorrow, is with Cyberpunk, so much of it is still just up in the air. Like, are there going to be motorcycles in the game? Yes. Well, we've seen one. And we've seen 3 seconds of footage of the player character driving it. Okay, there's one thing. Are there cars in the game? Yes, here's some screenshots. And here's some on-rails footage from a demo from a year ago. Just over a year ago. And that's it. You can't explain anything past that. You can't show some ambient gameplay. Just drive around the city. You can't show anything like that. You can't explain in detail what's in the game when it's 8 months out from release. No, everything's still conceptual. And it's ridiculous. I saw people saying that that's a serious question and that it raises some serious concerns. And I ignored people saying that a while back. But I'm telling you now that it should be concerning to you. That, and I guess I'll spoil the video really quick. I'll spoil the beginning of it. Where is it? Here it is. Hold on. I'll spoil just the beginning, no more, okay? So here's the beginning of tomorrow's video, alright? It should be loud enough. Let me check, okay.
Almost clear. Go.
Everything is coming together exactly as I planned.
Welcome to the gameplay demo walkthrough of CD Projekt Red's upcoming title, Cyberpunk 2077. Before we start, a small but important disclaimer. The gameplay you're about to see is from a work-in-progress version of the game. Everything you see is potentially subject to change. Keep in mind that what you see here is not final. We just want to give you a glimpse of what will be possible in the released game.
I ain't got a final plan yet. Why, sir, I ain't got it. I just need time.
Welcome to the Cyberpunk 2077 2019 Deep Dive video. It's one of those places where expectations and reality collided, resulting in a heap of disappointment.
I need time.
So this is Louis. Alright, so that's where we're going to stop. That's my video coming out tomorrow. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. It's not normal for a company to provide this little information about a game that's coming out in 8 months and still say that this is conceptual. It's unbelievable. I don't know if I have seen this in a game before, where 8 months out from release, they're not even talking about QA testing. They're not even talking about the bugs they're fixing. They haven't gone gold, meaning they don't have 1.0. Okay? I mean, I don't know all that much about what's involved in making a game, but I do know some things. And usually 8 months out from release, 1.0 is done. You have the game. And they're not there yet, as far as we're aware. Every single time they show footage, every single time they reference the game, it's work in progress, this isn't the final version, and everything is still conceptual. They're not naming guns, they're not naming bikes, they're not naming cars, and they're not showing us jack shit in terms of the final version of the game. They're showing us trailers and very carefully crafted and edited demo footage. It's not normal. And I think that one of the things that it's getting to me is the changes that they're making are the gender shit. Like, that's in the final version of the game. They've confirmed that. Everything else, we have no clue. But the gender shit, it's in the game. And I've yet to... I lost the photo of it. But it's out there, and I'm sure if I looked hard enough, I can find the photo. But one of the things that's in 1.0 is during the intro screen, they skip past it. They didn't show you this, but it's in there. You choose your gender pronoun. And I was arguing with somebody on Twitter who was trying to argue in opposition to me in good faith. But they were deflecting. They were trying to get out of the way of the argument I was putting forward to them, and I hit them over the head with the fact that in the menu screen, you are literally choosing your gender pronoun for the game. Like, you are choosing him, her, or he, him, her, she, whatever. Whatever. That's what you're choosing in the menu screen. And he's like, okay, I'll give you that. That's really fucking cringy. And it's like, well, there you go. There you fucking go. Why do you think that's in the game? It's purely ideological. And one of the things I don't like is when people say, this isn't ideological, this isn't removing gender. You are factually incorrect. That is actually what they did. They did remove gender from the game. And the reason you know this is because it's not labeled anything. And the Saints Row 2 reference is incorrect because it's labeled male-female in that game. It's male voice 1, male voice 2, male voice 3, female voice 1, etc. Male body 1, male or female body 1. These things are labeled in that game. You can mix and match, but they're still labeled. In Cyberpunk, they are not labeled. And you have to choose your gender pronouns. That is non-binary, okay? They did remove gender from the game. If you say otherwise, you are incorrect, all right? You are just incorrect. So we got some super chats. Ever notice that the people who are anti-white are dating, sleeping with white people? Example, Ilhan Omar, AOC, and here's Academic Agent's Twitter, not Carl King. Okay, whatever. Thank you, Dylan. Rogue says, hey, Louis, saw you in Applebee's video. You look like a greasy Jew. I'm not in that video, Rogue Crusader. I just watched 007's You Only Live Twice. There's some good waifu material in that movie. Maybe so. Is that the one where I believe that's the one where he's in Japan and he raids Ernst Stavro Blofeld's base in Japan? Like it's in a volcano, if I remember right. I think that's You Only Live Twice. I think that's it. But yeah, it's a good movie. And Classic says, hey, so I just wanted to drop back in. What is this stream theme? There is no theme to this stream. I sent a super chat earlier on 2A stuff and didn't say anything. I didn't understand your question there, Classic. I read it out loud. I didn't understand what you meant by it. I'll see if I can scroll back and find it. No, I don't see it. I scrolled back all the way to the beginning. I don't see your super chat there, buddy. Did it get deleted? Sorry, but I don't see it. So here, let me check the straw poll, see where we're at. So far, we're still at majority we're now at majority yes, and second is, it's up to you. But I still say that if, I'll see about this. It's not up right now. It's still pending stock arrival for this edition. But, in this version, this is uncensored, as far as I'm aware, because this is the Asian version. It's not the English version. At least I think. I don't really know, and I don't know anyone who's actually bought this shit to actually say. Alright, let me see if there's anything else for me to bring up. Did I save? Yeah, I did save that. Okay, let me get this off screen. Save that. Save this. We'll save this. Guess we'll come back to that. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, there was this that came up in the news from yesterday of YouTube going on a banning spree, bragging that they've banned 100,000 videos under hate speech guidelines, 17,000 channels, and they did do that. There's a whole bunch of prominent, some of the big name like alt-right guys, like white identitarian types. Some of them got their channels back. But unfortunately, a decent number of people. So there's some stories here about. So I could point out here that I talked. This is the guy that Tim Pool asked this guy here to kick me out of the event or the VIP area. What's this guy's name? Sheen Fratrick, president of Myth Informed, and Fritz Antonio, vice president. Well, they don't actually. I don't really know who's who. I met this guy. I talked to this guy, just about the event and about Tim. They were basically talking. They weren't really talking shit about Tim, but they were making fun of Tim just because after the one event canceled, they were scrambling. This is the bar that we were at, and I can tell you that it was. I think it actually. No, wait a minute. I think that might be the bar. It looks kind of like it, but also kind of not like the bar we were at. Because I don't remember the bar being like this. Where is this? Where is this? Oh, no, it's at the Human Village Brewing Company. So this is the bar I was at for the after party. And it was small. It was fucking hot as shit. It was too small. It was too expensive, and it closed way too early. And I basically laid out all my complaints, and they sent a survey out. The Myth Informed or Minds or whoever sent out a survey, basically where you could say your piece about the event. And I basically said a whole litany of things, like the primary venue at the Sugar House Casino was fine. The bar was too small. It was way too hot. The service was too slow because there's way too many people ordering drinks and not enough people fulfilling those drinks. There was just a lot wrong. And it was expensive and too small. And it only went on for 3 hours. So it kind of sucked. The after party was the best part, but it kind of sucked. So yeah, unfortunately, I have complaints about the after party. These are the Antifa guys that showed up. They're across the street. A couple people yelled at him. Sargon went out at one point and yelled at him, but he got pushed back in. And we all got forced back in. We were going outside because it was so fucking hot, but the cops pushed us back in. So that sucked. And eventually you couldn't even go out and smoke. So, yeah, the after party had its problems, but the people there were cool. And the owners were nice, I'll say that. I think their venue's too small, but and poorly ventilated. But they were nice. The owners were nice. I think there's another article. Yeah, there's this fat woman that showed up. So I said it on Twitter, and it's true, because I was there when he figured it out. Dank figured out who this woman was. So, as far as I'm aware, this woman came to the event. She didn't have a ticket, so she went to the front desk and she bought a ticket. And then she hung around, and Tim was aware. Tim was informed of who she was, and Tim let her stay. But it didn't matter. Dank already knew who she was. I was there when he figured it out. And eventually she just left. I didn't even see her leave. I was probably hanging out in the hallway when she did leave. But she's the same person that falsely accused... I actually talked about this on a stream back in the day. She's the person at the New Yorker that falsely accused an ICE agent of being a Nazi. Who was in a wheelchair. by the way. He was crippled. He was an injured vet, a disabled vet. And she basically called him a Nazi based on a photo. And it was proven false. She's the piece of shit that showed up in Philadelphia at the event. Stayed for a little while and then left. And no one really cared. She was pretty much just made fun of. So let me look at the chat. No, Tim got me kicked out of the VIP area. It's hard to lay it out exactly how the conference room is laid out. Basically, right here is the door that it was the only one where you can get through from the outside. Was this leftmost door here? On the outside, there's a hallway here. There's a bar right over here. There's a long hallway, and at the end of it, and right over here, where this guy's standing right here, right behind him is the VIP area. It's basically like a small dining room. And there's a door right here where there's a guard standing here. So in order to get into the VIP area, there's two ways. You have to go right through here and into the room past the guard, or you can go down the hallway outside this door where there's a balcony, and there's a door to the balcony that was locked, and I got let in by Dank. And so did a bunch of people, but by other people that got let in as well. So yeah, that's how I got into the VIP area. Dank let me in. It was fun. I enjoyed myself for the short time I was in there. We got invited to the VIP area for those of us that attended the after party. They called us back there. The host called us back there. The hosts were this guy, who I've actually seen before. I'm pretty sure he was in New York City, and I didn't really meet him, but I saw him there. This guy is the first time I've seen him, but he's with Minds or Mythicist or whatever. And this is obviously Tim right here. I know God Emperoni-chan, I saw that. He had a blood vessel burst in his eye. Thanks for the news. Tim's from Chicago, so you recognize Louis as a New Yorker and got rid of him. That's possible. Joe Biden is going to die in 5 years? I don't know. That's pretty generous. You don't really last too long when you have dementia. You really don't. You only last for a few months once it really sets in. Louis tried to take Tim's beanie, and so Tim banished Levi to the Shadow Realm. Maybe. Like I say earlier, somebody in the audience went up to the microphone and was like, "Tim, take off your beanie. Show us you have hair." And he doesn't. He's bald. But everyone laughed when he did that. I did too. Somebody said, Will says that Tim doesn't smile. Tim is very serious. Tim is an overly serious guy. I'm not hating him. I'm not dumping on Tim. I love Tim. I wish I had a chance to talk to him. I had a little bit of a chance to talk to him and his brother in New York City a while back. Not that he recalls me at all. But it would be nice to have Tim sit the fuck down and talk for once. Everywhere he went, the other day at the event, he was running around the whole fucking time. Just food. As far as I could tell in the VIP room, the only thing that was free was the food. No, his brother has his head shaved. So I don't know if he is bald or not, but he has his head shaved. He wears a hat as well. Classical says, "It's all good, man. I know the animosity is about my closing 2077 comment a few streams ago. Take care, man. Maybe I'll see you in an event in the future." Sure. If you see me, you see me. That's fine. I'm fine with people recognizing me. It makes me feel big. So I'll see if I see you, Classical. Reactor. That is Tim's brother's name. I'm trying to remember what his brother's actual name is. It's not Chris. Is it Eric? Oh, man. I'm so bad with names. I know. Dank's friend who I met at the event is the guy with the glasses. And blonde hair is Chris. Or no, is it Chris? Or is it Kevin? Fuck. Doesn't help when you're me and you're bad with names. I think it's Chris. I want to say Dank's friend is Chris. His +1 to the event. But in any case, anyone have any comments, questions about the event in Philadelphia? Any comments or questions? Chris Ray Gun didn't show up. Oh, so that reminds me. So, Shu was supposed to be there. Shu and Armor were supposed to be there. And if I had the opportunity, I was going to confront Shu. I was going to introduce myself to her. And if I said, do you recognize me? And if she said no, I would have said, I'm the guy that Chris Ray Gun made fun of. And you mocked me as well, saying that my goal was to save the West. And my question to her would be, in essence, what do you think is most funny about me? What do you think is the most entertaining factor about me? As someone who's a bigger YouTuber than me, as someone who's more popular, what should I play to? What is my most entertaining feature to you? My most interesting feature? What do you think I should play on to generate a wider audience? What do you think, Shu? Give me your advice as a bigwig. What do you think? Go full Joe Pesci on her. Not really. It would have been trying to make her somewhat uncomfortable. But it would have been mostly in good humor. I still would have confronted her about making fun of me. But the conversation would have been in good humor. With Chris, on the other hand, that I don't know. I'm not going to wig out on him and scream at him, because if you ever meet me, I'm a lot different. Well, not really a lot, but I'm more polite in person than I am online. But with Chris, I don't know. I don't know how that conversation goes, because I don't think he's going to be a hard-ass IRL. I don't think he's going to talk shit IRL. I really don't think so. Even around his friends, I don't think he's going to do it. Who's most likely to dox me? No one knows my name. I mean, my name's out there. You can find it, but no one at these events. I don't introduce myself as my actual name. I introduce myself as Louis. So no one really is in the position to do that unless they just look it up. Then you can find it. And it's like, well, what can I do at that point? I don't think Chris is gonna kick my ass. I'm not saying, I don't think it would happen like that. That's not really what I think would happen. My name is Southrich. You got it. Strike Team got it. You found out. I'm in a bunker somewhere in the world. After releasing those Democrat documents, I've had to go into hiding. Didn't Tim actually dox himself mid-event and then have the crazy guy appear? No. As far as I would have noticed if the crazy guy showed up. I'm sure everyone would have been talking about it. No one said anything like that. Question for Shu, do you think the postmodernists don't want to destroy the West? Dude, she would never answer it. She would weasel her way out of the question. I would never ask her like a straight question like that. She would just weasel out of it. I already know how she would answer that question. My response to her would just be mostly messing her with her to some degree, but not really in bad faith, just in good humor, like I said. Patrick says, I like that all the center-left YouTubers backed out because of safety concerns, but will still act like SJWs aren't a problem. Yeah, I mean, what can I say, Patrick? You're not wrong. That is what happened. Some progressives were there, like a few progressives were there. But all the center leftist types, as far as I'm aware. I mean, unless you count Tim, whose event it was. It was the entire reason this fucking thing happened. But Tim, I guess, is the only guy you can credit as center left. Every other person, Armored, Shoe, this other person, and maybe not, what's her face? Blair White. Blair White, I guess, would be the only center-right person that pulled out. But one other leftist person pulled out as well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I know Zoe Quinn got a guy to kill himself, but I don't really want to talk about it because they're crazy and all the people around her are. Blair pulled out, get it? Yeah, there you go. Set that one up for you, Strike Team. Music Man Mike was there. Music Man Mike, I would have to give him credit. Music Man Mike was just hanging out, talking to people. Music Man Mike was all over the place. Most of the VIPs hid in the VIP section. Music Man Mike was just walking around. So credit where credit's due. He was one of the rare people that actually just talked to people. Everyone else was hiding. Including Tim. I'm not really sure if I met Rucka. I mean, I was very close to him at a few points. No, Mike didn't try to fight Sargon. They mostly bantered. They didn't really talk too much. They were hanging out the day before the event. Yeah, the one guy took off completely. Actually, a couple people that were VIPs didn't go to the after party. They just took off. A few of them. I didn't really meet them or see them up close to name drop them, but Rucka went to the VIP event. Sargon did. Tim did. I'm not sure the one like semi-famous guy did. I can't remember. The one semi-famous leftist that was there, Graham Elwood. I can't remember if he went to the after party or not. His like girlfriend or assistant or whatever was one of the people that questioned me why I was in the VIP room. Sargon was fine. He just was around, enjoying himself. Dank was like super hungover and like just hanging out. When he wasn't on stage, he was just wandering mostly. Sargon spent a decent amount of his time. Actually, Sargon showed up later into the event and went straight into the VIP room. Mike said on Twitter that Sargon bullied and believed. He was there the whole time. Mike was there the whole time. You even went to the after party, if I remember right. So, bullied him to leave. Leave when? Mike was there the whole fucking time. Well, I was trying to get fucking... someone said, why are we in the VIP area? Dank let me in. I was trying to get fucking Sargon's ass to give me his +1 so I could get a fucking armband or a bracelet so I could get let in. I wanted to be in the VIP area, goddammit. I'm a fucking E-celeb, goddammit. I want to be in the VIP area. It's not fair. I guess we should end this soon, because there's only so much to discuss here. Getting a couple of people responses. That's yes. So it seems mostly yes from people relating to the Catherine poll. Let me double check the Catherine poll, see how that's going. About the same as before. So if you want to vote, go vote. Yep, VIP with my 21K subs. That's more than other people have. I was in a conversation with people. There was a journalist there. He was like, yeah, I have like 200 subs. A journalist was there who said that. And I didn't say anything, because I don't think it's polite to brag in that manner. At least I wasn't drinking enough. Because if I had drank it enough, I would just brag, because I don't give a fuck. But I was polite enough not to bring up my subscriber count. But there was somebody there talking about his subscriber numbers. And I'm sitting there like, man, you've been uploading all this footage and you got 200 subs? I'm just bullshitting. I'm just putting up garbage. I'm uploading actual trash to the internet. And I got 21K. So, yeah. I mean, yeah. I name dropped. I got confronted by this guy here, this guy in the center. He asked me who I was, and I was like, I'm a friend of Danks and Sargon's. He's like, all right, well, if you don't have a bracelet, you gotta go. So I name dropped. I'm willing to name drop, but I got booted anyways. It's not fucking fair, man. I'm a fucking E-Celeb too. God damn it. It's not right. How much YouTube pussy did I slay? None, and I wouldn't. That's not a good idea. If you look at all the drama shit on YouTube, it's not a good idea to fuck another YouTuber. I should have popped my collar. I didn't. Maybe I should have. Maybe that was my mistake. Get into the bucket with us crabs. No, man. Fuck you, Patrick. I'm breaking free. I'm breaking free of the bucket. I'm leaving all you fucking people behind. I don't care what you guys say, like, oh, we love you, Louis. We love your channel. Here's some super chats. No! I'm leaving you all behind. I'm getting out of the bucket. I'm going into the VIP area. It's happening. It did for a little while anyways, and I'm telling you in the future it's happening. I'm making it happen. I don't give a damn. You guys are out there being pessimists, but I'm the eternal optimist. It will happen. And I'll say this, if I get big enough, if I get enough subscribers, like if I get over 100K in my wildest dreams, if that happens, there is a very strong likelihood that I will also have to post on fucking Minds, I guess. There's a good chance that I will have these people come to me and say, you've been attending our events, you have 100K subs, you're posting on Minds, do you want to be on a panel? And then I will be in the fucking VIP area. But, unfortunately, the chances of that are quite low. I've already answered the question how my job's going. It's not going quite well. There's a good chance I'm not going to have it. By the end of this year, there's a decent chance I'm going to be done with the job. Celeb Le Vau. Like I say, 100K subs, and then we're talking about something different. All right. It's true. Patrick, you're right. Dude, I had some Israeli guy. I was talking to some Israeli philosopher guy whose name I forget. But he runs a YouTube channel. He's an Israeli philosopher. I was talking to him at the after party. And he asked me, we was talking about growing his channel. He's having problems growing his channel. And I said, bro, it's not hard. All you gotta do currently on YouTube is upload a shitty video every fucking day. And the algorithm will carry you. That is the go-to as it is right now. If you upload a video every day, your channel grows. The algorithm will float your channel. And that's it. It can even be a controversial video, but it's just a matter of upload a video every day. And that's what you have to do, and that's how you grow. The only difference is that I don't really have time. It's hard for me to find the time necessary to upload a video every day. Yeah, I wish fucking Jeremy went to that men's rights event. He should have gone to the Minds event in Philadelphia. I think he lives in fucking Texas or something, so that might be why he didn't go. But he should have gone to the Mines event. That would have been great. I guess I'll focus more on YouTube if I get fired, but I'm pretty much gonna have to be. I'll be in the position where I'm gonna have to get another job. So I'm sure that that's gonna be my primary focus. So it's gonna be short-lived. Yeah, Ryan says in the chat, imagine flying from Israel to see Shu only for her to back out last minute. There were people that were upset. There were people that are upset that Shu armored and Blair backed out. There were people that were angry about that, or at least upset. I shouldn't say angry, but upset about it. There were people there. I spoke to them about it, and they were upset. She doesn't give a shit. I don't really want to talk shit, but I'll just let that stand and won't say anything. I don't think Chris was supposed to be there. It would have been great if he was, but I don't think he was supposed to be there. According to them on Doom, they said it was for security reasons. They claimed it was because of the threats to the event that they backed out. Whether that's true or not, I couldn't really tell you. That's just what I was told about what happened. Nothing happened, though. There was no violent confrontation. The cops had basically cordoned off the street, and all the Antifa types, and there was only like a dozen or so of them, at least that I saw. They were completely contained to the entire other side of the street. Like, one person tried to cross and got dragged back by the cops. So it was no big deal. Tim says, Louis, long time no super chat. Saw you streaming and I wanted to at least drop a dime on you, bro. Work has been absolutely insane, so I keep missing your live streams. Same here. Keep it up, man. Or keep it real, man, rather. Thank you, Tim. Thank you for the super chat. Good to see you back. Tim uses hyperbolic language. It's not really new for him. No, the cops were out in force. They didn't really seem to take them too seriously either, but they basically just stood there. There was multiple cops by the back door of the bar, cops on every side of the street, and cops literally all in front of the protesters. So they couldn't go anywhere without getting caught. And there's a cop inside the bar. So nothing was going to happen. That was actually that was the Pittman Police Department that were responsible for that. The Boston cops actually having balls. Is that the straight pride parade? I don't know how much I can comment on that. All right. Is there anything else? I don't really want to get into too much news because that's for a news stream, obviously. But I thought I could at least talk about the event because I was there and it's not really news. Let me double check my feed. There's plenty of news, but I guess I'll save that for another day. I guess I'll get up some new Yuri. Get this new Yuri post up. It's fine to wait just like that. I like how now we have more people watching than when we did the game earlier. I've seen a decent portion of... There's actually been 2 specials lately done by Dave, and I've seen a decent portion of both. I haven't watched the full thing because I don't want to get Netflix. When the demographic changed and the Republicans will never get into office again, people on the right will no longer look for a political process for social change. Demographic change matters in some way, in some ways not. It's mostly contained to certain states, and it's still heavily in favor of Democrats currently. But the Dems are bleeding pretty much everywhere but black women. That's the only demographic they're not currently losing. You're one of Dave's least favorite type of people. Let's check on the poll. Well, the poll is still majority yes, and still 21 votes at no. Don't know about the rest of the chat, but for me, these days just pisses me off. Same old story, same old whining, nothing new about news these days. Yeah, largely yes, Tim, I agree. There's not really much that's new that's going on at the moment. It's mostly most of just the same things happening. Poor and white, aw. Alright, well, it's unfortunate that we're currently, like, peaking out in terms of viewers when it's like I'm kind of out of things to talk about. So let me take a double check Twitter, I guess, or something to talk about. Because I don't really have anything else offhand that isn't news that I want to save for another time. No, save that. Gillette. Oh, yeah, Gillette. I guess that's news that I'll say is just Gillette switching their ad to something different now that they've lost $5 billion in value. That's from late August. Another person left BioWare. That's not really news. I'm going to get rid of that. Who cares? It's just another day. What else we got here? I don't really see... Don't really see anything else that would be relevant. I don't know why I have this tweet here from Joe Scarborough talking about how Trump's a white supremacist. And get rid of that. I don't remember why I saved that. I have no idea why I saved this. I probably meant to do a video on that. I just don't remember. Tucker Carlson getting in trouble for talking about white supremacy being a hoax. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to weed through this another time. Yeah, I don't really have anything else as far as I can tell to talk about at the moment. No real videos or anything as well. Oh, Jack getting fucking hacked, Patrick, on Twitter. Nah, that's not really news. He got hacked, whatever. just said a bunch of spicy shit, or somebody else did after they hacked his account. There's nothing really newsworthy there. It's just the same old shit. All right. Well, I'll answer a couple more questions and then we'll wrap this up. So let's take a look at chat and see what we got here, and then we'll finish this up for tonight. And if you haven't already, if you are just stopping by, I did another stream tonight on the 4th episode of Life is Strange 2. So if you want more entertainment, you can go watch that. Am I going to play the next Wolfenstein? I don't really know. I mean, dude, it looks like absolute shit. And I'm not really sure if I want to play it just because it looks like grindy trash and it's still like $50. So I don't really know if I want to play it. Yeah, at least the episode wasn't as boring as the last one. I will agree with you there. It was really hard to follow and kind of crazy, but it wasn't as boring as the previous one. Underage tits and all with that last one, it was still extremely boring. Yeah, the 2020 election is going to be crazy. I expect it to be. The last episode, I'm not really sure what shenanigans they're going to get into the last episode, but every episode has been really independent of the others. Like, there is no real follow-through with the episodes. Have you noticed that with this game? Is that the first episode, the second episode, the third, the fourth, there is no continuum. There are no real recurring characters. There's no real recurring themes, callbacks. It's just the next adventure. Like, what are we doing today? And then it ends that episode. It's all tied up that episode, and then we just continue on to the next part of the game. Unfortunately, it's just like it's really hard to care. I can say that at least for Life is Strange 1, they didn't have that problem. Even the shitty spin-off one didn't have that problem. And that it was incredibly boring. It was so boring you never finished it. Even with that, at a minimum, it at least had consistency. You're dealing with the same characters. It's dealing with similar themes. And at least with the episodes, there are differences, but it's just a continuum to the end. It isn't just, today we're doing this shit on this episode, the next we're doing this, and the next we're doing this. No, there's just the two recurring characters are Sean and Dan, and that's it. What is the next game to stream after Life is Cringe? It might be the Before the Storm, which is the spinoff. That would probably be the next, because it's 3 episodes. It's Chloe and the other girl whose name I forget who gets killed. It's their adventure together. That's 3 episodes, and it's boring, but it's at least somewhat entertaining to watch and to play together. And I never finished it as well. So at least there's that. So at least going into the 3rd episode will be a surprise, because I don't know what's going to happen. But beyond that, I'm not sure. I've had a bunch of people ask me so far, to say that they're interested in me streaming Catherine. But I would have to buy it, one, and I don't know how to stream in a PlayStation 4 either. But I'm sure I could look that up. I'm just not sure if I could tie it into Google. I'd have to look all that up to see. Can't wait until Woke Saints Row comes out. Is that, I assume you mean, Watch Dogs Legion. Yeah. Watch Dogs Legion, it's not like I've pre-ordered it, but I'm not ruling out buying it. Because on the upside, upside is that it's either a decent game, or downside is that it's super fucking cringy, and I've just found my replacement for Life is Strange. There you go, you know? I want a Louis Le Vau narrated visual novel. Yeah, I'm aware of Rainbow Six Siege and the Battle Pass. I'm aware. Man of Medan feels as mediocre as Life is Strange, which is weird. Man of Medan is it doesn't live up to Until Dawn, which has pretty much been true for every one of the games that what's their faces. I got it on my desk. Who's the dev? Supermassive Games. They're not as interesting and engaging as David Cage games. They're slower. It's more based around horror than it is like character development and that sort of thing. The Man of Medan, the theatrical version, which is the one of two ways to play the game. There's the theatrical and an alternative version. The story mission, the theatrical is 3 hours long. So the main story is 3 hours long. That is substantial. That is substantially shorter than Until Dawn. That is substantially shorter than not Heavy Rain. What the fuck is the most recent one? Fuck. Beyond Human? What is that? No, it's not Beyond Two Souls. What the fuck? Detroit Become Human. That's what it is. Thank you. So, I have a soft spot for the developers at Supermassive, but Medan is not necessarily a bad game, but it's not worth $50. And I don't really see them with a bright future in the current way that they're doing it. The story itself wasn't too bad. Like, I've already beaten it, so I know everything that happens. There's several different endings that you can get with it. So you can't really complain too much about choices. There are several different endings to the game that you can get. So at least there's that. And it doesn't feel as binary as Detroit does. Detroit feels pretty binary as a game. Like, certain sections and certain characters, there really seems to only be, like, one of a couple ways that you can go with it. You either do X, especially, not Chloe, what's her name? Kara. Kara in that game especially is, like, you do X or you do Y. And if you do Y, you can get killed, or if you do X, you can get killed. There really are only two ways to go about it with that, and it kind of feels forced with her character. The other two, there's several different ways that you can go with them. Yeah, Detroit does want you to be pro-Android. That is true. The game does have a bias to it. Unfortunately, it gets more and more as the game goes on, and then the momentum goes behind it. And it doesn't really justify, like, pretty much past the halfway point, the game showcases enough examples of the inner lore, like the inner narrative of the game stops making sense. The most interesting character in the game is Connor, and most of his stories are the most interesting. Unfortunately, with David Cage, and I've said this about even in the review, David Cage is the worst person at his studio, the least talented, and he's the guy responsible for everything in terms of the narrative, at least all the major portions of it. And unfortunately, because of that, you have somebody that doesn't know how to make the narrative of the game make sense. He's too clouded by his own biases to just make it consistent. And I believe I've already explained on previous streams like what my version of the game would be and how to make it make sense. But yeah, Man of Medan is okay. I just wouldn't buy it at $50. If you like horror games, maybe buy it at that amount, and narrative games. But if you are not into horror and you're not into video games, it's kind of a hard recommendation to give you, especially at that dollar amount for a 3-hour game that is pretty much just baiting you to play it again. But yeah, I would say that Ellen Page, which was Beyond Two Souls, that was the worst one. Beyond Two Souls was the worst. That game was trash. Thoughts on how desperate Star Wars is? I mean, it's pretty obvious. I think it goes without saying at this point. I'm probably going to see it in the winter with a friend of mine. There's a pretty good chance that we go and see it. And it's just going to be a matter of, in my view, getting it over with and sort of, tying it up. Just being done. It's Man of Medan, not Madame Madame. I'm not getting Control. Control looks like shit. I think I might be done with whatever the fuck their name are. Sam Lake's company. I think I might be done with them. Control looks like absolute garbage. Get Control if you're a female streamer. Tim says, Star Wars is almost as desperate as a 110-pound weakling trying to hook up at the age of 28 with some psycho, no-shaved pits, enviro chick that doesn't shower. I guess so. I mean, I guess the question is, what are his politics, Tim? Alright, well, I've been saying that we should wrap this up, and I think we will. So, I'll thank everyone that sent us Super Chat tonight, and I hope that you guys enjoyed the streams tonight. I appreciate everyone's support. And if you want to follow me on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Gab, follow me on Facebook, support me on Subscribestar, use my affiliate links. And, Sue said it in the chat, Tube Industries. Well, you know what, Tube? I'm your friend. You claim not to have any, but I'm your friend, Tube. So, I hope that makes you feel better. So we'll end it there, and hopefully in the near future I'll have time to do another stream some more games, and hang out just like this, rather than have to rush and just work on endless videos that I make absolutely nothing on because fucking YouTube is horrible. All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys, and enjoy the rest of your night. And we'll see what happens later this week. All right. Where the fuck is the end the stream button? All right, later.